You all right?
So glad you could join us once again
Yeah.
for our Sunday morning conversation.
Yeah, and those are in our connections group.
They're getting it early.
Watching it right
Now
now live.
they're getting it live.
Go get their questions answered.
Yeah, so they can watch it the second time to get the stuff that they missed.
Yep. If you want to join our connections group on Facebook or streaming,
Yeah.
go to Facebook, in the search part, put Bethany Connections, right?
Yes.
Bethany Connections.
Bethany Connections?
Yes.
Okay. Not Connections at Bethany?
Connections Bethany. Bethany Connections.
Bethany Connections,
Yes.
okay.
Search it on Facebook. You can join the group. We answer questions. We chop it up. Have a good time.
Okay.
So, sermon.
So where have I been sending people then?
Well, when they join the connections,
Connections that go to Bethany?
that's
doesn't,
for
that doesn't
people.
work?
No, that still works.
Okay, okay.
This is just where we stream this at.
Okay.
It's on the Facebook connections.
Bethany Connections?
Yes.
Okay.
But they all kind of work together.
Okay.
But we have them emailed the,
I don't want to misdirect people.
Oh, no, you good.
Okay.
No, you're good.
All right.
You're good. Because we let them know in the group too.
Okay.
To email social aid.
And I want to thank those of you who have joined the Connections Church. I don't know where our numbers are right now, but I praise God for you. Thank God that when our convocations and things begin again, they'll be able to plan to make trips and come to the house. We're looking for all our Connections members to come to see us during convocation. Those special services that we have, and come in town and stay a couple days and enjoy the area, but enjoy the Lord, with us. Get that deposit. Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. And this month you can join us. We're announcing as much as possible. It's your anniversary this month. 30 years. Praise the Lord.
30 years, can't believe it.
30 years, I know. 30 years.
30 years.
Wow. Yeah.
I was 38 when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Had the fresh mustache. Business just
38.
38. It's crazy to see how far God can bring you
Man.
if you allow Him to do it.
And imagine all of the preachers. A, told me not to pastor in the Northeast. B, told me I was wasting myself in Summerdale, a place nobody ever heard of. But then my joy was the place, we were not supposed to be known for the place.
Yeah.
The place was supposed to be known for our being there.
Yep.
So I felt as though Summerdale would become more known, and it did.
It did.
Lindenwold would become more known, and it is.
Yep.
And it's because of the work God does in a place that changes it from merely existing to significance. So
Absolutely.
I just don't make sure you're in the will of God. If God decides to plant you in a ministry, pastors, the place you are, a lot of people want to go to Dallas.
Yeah.
But I didn't get led to go to Dallas. I didn't feel led to go to New York. It was right here in southern New Jersey. And that decision was also impacted by where my family was.
Yeah.
My grandmother had to be taken care of. My mother was here. My aunts are here. So I couldn't see God moving me to Texas.
Yeah.
Something happened with one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 days getting here.
Yeah. No.
No. So that whole destiny was included. And I believe God honored the fact, my sense of responsibility to them.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that sense of responsibility He rewarded and showed me He could do what He wanted to do.
Yep.
Where I had been called, not where people thought I should go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And if you can't be faithful over a few things, how you going to be a ruler over the many?
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, you can't. So we're celebrating that all month long. Of course, tonight is communion at 6. Next week, on Sunday, we're going to air Apostle Ron Carpenter at 6.
Okay.
I think that was from 2011, I believe.
Okay.
The
You did a good job that time.
Oh, yeah. The following Sunday is Bishop Paul Morton. I think that was from 2015, I believe. And then Bishop T.D. Jakes the following Sunday. All services at Sunday night at 6.
Okay.
We're going to these are all recap services from previous pastoral anniversary services. Of course, Prophet Daniel Amatang is going to send us something live on the 4th Sunday in the morning.
Okay.
So we're going to have that all month long. We're going to celebrate. The interview should start this week, right?
It's this Saturday.
Well, for those watching today, Friday, the first interview with Bishop is going to start tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
At 11:30, we said?
Yep.
11:30. Every Saturday, 11:30. It's going to be a 6-part series, so it's going to run into August, most likely. We sat here for maybe three days and just talk to you for an hour.
Yes.
And then you're going to see all that broken up. We go from in the hood to where we are now into the future.
They got me, y'all.
Yeah. But it was good. You're going to really enjoy it. And of course, we're asking everybody, if you can, to please sow into his life, asking for at least $100 per person to celebrate him, to sow into him. He's been working really hard, more now, working hard before, but during the pandemic, he's still up here a lot. So we want to be a blessing to him. If you can do more, do more. The giving instructions are on the screen because we have a special code for your anniversary.
Okay.
We're going to put that on the screen so people know exactly if you give on Giblify, the website, or text to give. All right?
Appreciate it.
It's going to be cool. Y'all bless my pastor now. 30 years is a big thing. We had a big thing planned, but we're going to do a big thing online.
Yeah.
And then hopefully by next year, if we open up, 31 years will be a shindig. We can get our black tie affair on and,
Oh, man.
you know, get all dressed up. You know, I'm so used to wearing jeans now. I'm scared to get back into a suit.
Doc, when we had to put a suit on a couple of weeks ago, it felt like I had to think about what tie to wear and stuff, man. That never was a problem before.
Yeah. Hello.
But, you know, I think we had the right system before. There were some days we were,
Yeah.
you know, like this, and other days we thought we needed to beef it up just a little
Yeah,
bit.
just a
Some
little
days were business casual.
Yeah.
You know, communion time was a little different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever go as far as, you know, having to go full ecclesiastical garb, though.
No, I ain't doing all that. That's too hot. That's too
No,
hot.
it's just
too much.
that collar thing, you know. I don't even know where mine is.
Yeah. I found mine in the closet somewhere. It was sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I just never. I don't think your outfit grows your church. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
let's not get started.
Let's not get started on that. I was about to get into a class I took. I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay,
So
okay.
anyway, so Sunday you're going to see this if you're watching Friday. If you're watching live Sunday, we continued on faith
Right.
and looking at faith in a unique way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why. Maybe you can help me out with this. Why we always pit two things against each other like they're mutually exclusive. Because you start talking about faith and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And usually for some strange reason, we want to separate stuff.
Absolutely.
Rather than understanding that it's not this or that, it's this and that.
Mm-hmm.
We reduce feelings and just try to maximize faith, but faith is supposed to impact how you feel. And how you feel impacts your faith. So can you kind of talk to us about why we have that tendency?
I don't know where the confusion happened. I do recall early in my walk, people separating faith and feelings. Now, of course, there are some learned people out there that want to split their hair on feelings and emotions. But right now, we're talking about the necessity or lack of necessity for emotion and faith. So it was suggested and told to me that your faith always had to overcome your feelings. Somehow that became a negative feelings, emotion message.
Right.
And it made faith kind of cold and sterile.
Yeah.
Something you had to have, but not something you could feel.
Right.
However, everything I read that had to do with salvation talked about believing in your heart and gave me a sense that there was a very strong emotion that accompanied or that was birthed by a relationship with God. So I think we've been in error teaching that feelings don't come along with faith, but we accept that feelings come along with fear.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I think it tragically misaligns us into where, you know, it pulls your relationship with God out of faith other than I believe it.
Yeah.
But I believe the intensity of your love with him would have you very, very expectant of what he's promised you, extremely confident that he's your God, and believing that what he has promised you, you're going to receive.
Right, right. So instead of separating emotions,
Yeah.
let your faith guide your emotions, and your emotions give you passion where there's faith.
Yeah.
It's like reason. Reason isn't bad. reason's bad when it overcomes faith. Because God gives us a reason for simple stuff.
It was implied that I shouldn't feel what I'm believing.
Yeah.
I think I should feel what I'm believing
Yeah.
based on who God is in my life. So I should get excited about what I just prayed.
Right.
Should get excited what I'm believing God for. And what is that excitement about? Expectation, confidence, and believing.
Yeah. Yeah. It all works together.
Yes.
You know, your
Yes.
total, God doesn't just save your spirit, he saves your total man.
Absolutely.
Body, soul, and spirit, your emotions, all of that.
And I don't see anywhere where Jesus' life with God was emotionless. Matter of fact, he appears to be a pretty emotional guy.
Yeah.
But righteously emotional and in control of them.
Right. Could it be that because we were told, the impression was that you're always 100% in faith,
Okay?
and that
Well,
if
that's
you
a
have-
lie.
Right. If you have any inkling of doubt or worry, that's the devil. Could it be that's the reason why people think that feelings are so bad? When we all can believe God, but none of us are ever in 100%. I never doubted. We lie when we give that testimony.
This is going to mess some folk up.
Yeah.
I doubt God in areas where my faith is weak in God.
Yep.
My areas of faith is weak in God because I don't know enough about him in the area of my concern. So the whole process comes back to what I know of him. And then once again, we bring into the fact that fear and faith are based on proximity.
Yep.
Closer I am to God, the stronger my faith. The further away I am from God, fear steps in.
Yeah.
But when I distance myself from what I fear and get closer to God, fear is defeated.
Yeah.
God has not given us a spirit of fear,
Yeah.
but power, love, and a sound mind. So all things are possible in his love for me and my love for him. But the opposite of that is fear.
Right. Right. So relationship, going back to the basics, if you build your relationship, faith builds the relationship and the relationship builds faith. Because you can't come to God without faith. So you need faith to come to him, and coming to him will help build your faith. That seems to be what you're saying.
I believe fear ought to be a threat, not a condition.
Right.
It ought to be an assault
Yeah.
that the enemy or your mind is playing with you, not something that overcomes you.
Yeah.
Because all of us, depending on the situation, have had moments of fear.
Absolutely.
And if you're not good at talking to yourself, the fear will start to dominate you.
Yeah. We're going to talk about this on Bible study on Wednesday. If God told Joshua 3 times in the same chapter, don't be afraid, he knows that something's going to come.
There was a reason. There was a reason.
He acknowledged that this is going to be a feeling for you.
Be of good courage
There you
is
go.
not just a random sentence.
Right.
You may feel like running when you run into this next test.
Yes.
But be of good courage.
You're going to feel this, but here's the answer.
Yep.
This is what you do when you feel this. God knows that we have these thoughts and these expressions and these feelings, and he gives us the solution to them.
So you read, I'll never leave you, but you feel like sometime he does.
Yes.
Because Jesus exhibited the same controversy on Calvary. Why hast thou forsaken me? He hadn't. He just felt like it.
It's a feeling. You read Psalms. Even the psalmist has his moments. He says, I think in Psalms 42, he says, why is my soul discontented? Why am I feeling like this?
A normal emotion
Yeah.
that you have to do an audit or you become consumed by it.
Yes. Yes.
What I'm feeling is not right. You got to be able to say that to yourself. Some people can't even say they don't feel like it on a particular day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I believe that the assimilated education of the saints is that you lie about your condition.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you're walking up to strangers saying what's going on with you.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that foolishness.
Yeah.
But the assimilated mindset of the saints is that I deny something real that I'm feeling.
Yes.
When in actuality, the moment I admit it, I can now control it.
Yep.
I can take sovereignty over it.
Yes.
But sometimes what you deny, you cannot control.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It makes sense. Jesus said, the father asked Jesus, can you heal my son? And Jesus says, well, if you can believe. And the man didn't say, oh, I'm not struggling to believe. He said, Lord, help my unbelief. And Jesus did the miracle when he confessed his struggle to believe.
There was a percentage of faith that was not in the present. It was not applicable to the situation. Jesus honors his confession.
Yep.
Help my unbelief. He didn't know he had enough for the boy to be healed.
Right. Right. Because all you need is...
Jesus had to show him,
Yes,
you have enough.
You got enough.
You just don't understand. Doubt does not eliminate faith.
Right.
Doubt challenges faith.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you're right. I think self-awareness in the kingdom is very important. To know why you're feeling what you're feeling, how you feel it, and learning to overcome that by the Spirit of God through the Word, through all those good things.
I think there's so many examples of our biblical heroes that go through these moments.
Yep.
You know, you've got Elijah, you know, running out of town, sitting under a twisted tree.
Yeah.
That was indicating what was going on inside of him.
Right.
I'm sitting under this twisted tree, and the twisted tree is the revelation of what's going on inside this great man of God. You know, you've got example after example of people who got down. I mean, Moses got down.
Yep.
Joshua, got down. Job down.
Yep.
David wrote a whole book on being down, Lamentations.
Yeah, Jeremiah, yeah.
Jeremiah wrote it.
Yeah.
Jeremiah himself says, you know, I wasn't going to say nothing else.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out.
I'm through.
Yeah. But David even wrote most of the Psalms, those beginning Psalms.
Yeah, man.
He's very emotional.
Yeah.
And he encourages me, my soul cast down, I'm going to make myself praise him, you know.
But his passion worked for him
Yeah.
both in worship and war.
Right. Right.
Worship and war. But with Abigail's story, it almost got him in trouble.
Yep.
So we can misdirect our emotion.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make us feel like we're right.
Especially when you talked about that thing about God providing and protecting in silence. That's probably why it gets so messed up.
Okay.
He's doing it the whole entire time. We just either not paying attention to it, not seeing it. The phrase, we got so used to saying it, he keeps us from danger seen and unseen. We just throw it around, but he really does keep you from some stuff that you don't see. And we act like, why did you forget about me? When he's like,
What's that my friend Carolyn Antrim wrote in the song? If we had seen the unseen
Seen
dangers,
dangers.
we'd be praising the Lord right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Carolyn wrote that song, man. It wasn't hot at first, but people started thinking,
Yeah.
if I had seen this stuff, God didn't allow me to see.
Yes, sir. Yep. And that whole Nabal David piece was wonderful because it shows that how our emotions can betray God somewhat while he's taking care of us. Complaining while he's doing it.
I thought of entitlement when I saw Nabal.
Okay.
You know, he's like, I did all this. And he says it.
Yeah.
I did my stuff, my this, my that, and I.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's in trouble. He doesn't even know it.
Right.
You know, and David wasn't around to hear the words, but David received the attitude.
Yeah. Man.
He had to hear through his servants.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't hear what I said.
I heard you.
He heard through his servants.
Yeah. I wonder if God sometimes, if he had the same attitude towards us that we had for him.
Oh.
You know, I don't, you know, it's scary to think. I think that's why he told Israel in Malachi 3, y'all should be glad I don't change. He said,
You need to be praising right now that I don't change.
I have not adjusted yet. No, go ahead.
I think in the context of God, he's so consistent that we take on an entitlement.
Yeah.
He's so good and never lets us down and provides that we act as though he owes us this thing.
Yeah.
And what really blows my mind is that you never take for granted someone who's not reliable.
Yep.
That it's not going to help those of you who people take you for granted a lot. But it is your reliability and your consistency and your predictability that causes people to take advantage of you or take you for granted.
Yeah.
You cannot take for granted someone who's not reliable. Only those reliable people are taken for granted. You better hear what I'm saying.
Yep. Yep.
Because they don't understand you're not doing it for them alone. You're doing it because of your relationship with God, and you feel like God gives you the opportunity to help those people.
Yes.
So a lack of thanksgiving from the individual that you're helping does not mean God has not heard of your service.
Yeah. My.
You hear me?
What's that, Hebrews 6? I've not forgotten all the work that you do for the saints.
Absolutely.
And do minister.
Absolutely.
God remembers all that stuff.
Absolutely. I'm amazed at how Nabal is so blessed. He's a picture of an individual who forgets there was a God or a king that was allowing him to prosper.
Yeah.
And he was simply being allowed to prosper. And not because of Nabal, but because of the woman of faith in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. God will give you mercy because somebody you're connected to.
Oh, my goodness.
Lord, have mercy.
Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
For that.
He'll protect you because somebody you're connected
Oh, man.
to. That's all. Well, yeah.
Sometimes a very trying family member does not realize that the only reason at times that you are still alive is because God does not want to disappoint his child in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all need to hear what I'm saying. Folk need to be praising God for your faith.
Yes, sir.
Not taking you for granted, not mistreating you, not feeling like they're entitled to your wages, not feel like they're entitled to your house, not feel like they're entitled to your favor. But entitlement is a sickness.
It is. It is.
And the only thing that cures it is thankfulness.
Yep. It's very pubescent.
Yep. Gratitude will fix it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because entitlement is very childlike. It's pubescent.
It is.
I watch my kids, and they think they run the show and own it. Every now and then you got to remind them, this ain't your house. You ain't got no door.
You got to tell me.
You
You ain't got to tell me.
I close the door. You don't have a door. That's my door.
That's right.
That's my.
Matter of fact, you don't have clothing.
Right. I got that for you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You understand? But that's a wonderful working illustration for teaching people about God.
Yeah.
And what he provides. Just like I give you everything, God gives us everything to give to you.
Yep. Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. And God says, look, I'll be okay with giving you more than what you give me. The only thing I'm asking you for is for your life. Just have enough sense to give me that.
Give me your life.
And I'll reward you for everything that you give me.
And if you do what I tell you to do, you're behaving like you're related to me.
Yes.
But you're also behaving like you're thankful.
Yes. Because good behavior, that's right, is a revelation of appreciation
That's right.
and thankfulness.
That's right.
Wow. It ain't nothing worse than a grown person that act like a child, feels like they're entitled to all your stuff.
And I got them around me. It gets on my nerves.
Especially when they're up there in age,
man,
like 40, 50, 60. It's like
gets on my nerves.
It gets
on my nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Just, you spend a lifetime being good to somebody, and they develop this entitlement thing, which means they're in love more with what you provide than they are with you.
Yes. Some people don't know how to be treated well.
No.
As they say.
Don't know how to be careful.
How to be careful. Yep. Wow. You got any questions? I we've been
I
random.
just have one so far.
Okay.
It says, I am a new Christian. How can I lead my family when my partner won't even come to church?
How can you lead your family when your partner won't even come to church? Well, what has to happen first is overcome our history. And what I mean by that, your present behavior must distance you in the minds of the people that have observed you from the you they've always known. That does not happen overnight. And what happens is that we get saved and we become very enthusiastic about our families getting saved also. But they've got to read us like they've been reading us. They've got to read the new version of us. So that takes time. And oftentimes, when you didn't, and I know you didn't plan on hearing this, for every progression in life, you have to accept the fact that not everybody in your life is ready for your next progression. Some people are great friends. No, some people are great acquaintances. But then a friendship starts to develop, and some traits that are unacceptable are revealed. Some people are fabulous friends, but not fabulous love interests. Because once love comes in, some characteristics are revealed that make that an unbearable situation. You will find as acquaintances, find as friends, but not as significant other. And one of the things that edits progression and destiny is a relationship with God. You do not want someone simply going because you asked them to. You want them to respond to an invitation, not an obligation. So you've got to ask yourself, is this individual the person that goes into this next phase of my life? Can they shift from my life to my life more abundantly? That's a critical question to ask, because if they're not fit for the dimension, they will bring problems to the dimension. That's what happened with Lot and Abraham. God is telling him, I know you love him, but don't take him into this dimension, because he will bring problems into that dimension of your life that I don't want you to go through.
Yeah.
He insists, delays his whole journey. So you got to live it for them to believe it, and you have to live it so your partner will hopefully be inspired. But if the partner is not, then that's showing you they're not ready for the next phase of your life. And you can't go back, you must go forward.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That was only one so far?
That's all I have so
Okay,
far.
cool.
Okay.
Interesting. And now, if I'm reading the story, remembering the story correctly,
Right.
Abigail tries to save her husband, right? Mm-hmm. And he just is content to be who he is.
He's incorrigible.
Didn't the Bible call him
Churlish.
Churlish, yeah. I thought it was
Surely, meaning he just was evil. Just mean all the time. And he's married to what is described in a few sentences as an extraordinary person.
Yeah.
So we don't know whether that marriage was arranged.
Yeah, custom of the time, yeah.
Okay, custom of the time.
Yeah.
You know, your neighbor got a whole lot of stuff. You need to go ahead.
Yep.
That'll be a good mate for you because you got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows stuff does not measure an individual,
Right.
male or female. You know, so he had stuff, but was not a nice person with his stuff.
Yeah.
So she found herself in a situation that was pretty bad.
And it's now, okay, how can I say this?
Say it right.
Okay. So Nabal not treating her right.
Obviously,
Obviously.
since he's evil.
Because he's evil. She moves on, becomes the wife of David, and her life gets elevated. In a good relationship.
And the servants, too.
And the servants too, all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Come on.
She took them with her.
Yeah, elevated
She took them with her.
Yes. Because that said a lot about Nabal. If this other person can upgrade her life in a way that he couldn't do it, even though he had stuff.
Yeah, but he wasn't the king.
He wasn't the king. David was on the run. He didn't have a palace. He didn't have, not at that time, there was no palace, there was no chariots, there was no bank or whatever they had with money. But the thing that was on David, he was able to upgrade everybody that came into his vicinity.
Everybody came around and we upgraded. Because Nabal is an example of people's choice. David is an example of God's choice.
Yes, sir.
So the difference between God's choice and your choice is often your happiness.
Say that again.
Difference-
Preach it to the people.
difference between God's choice and your choice is often your happiness.
Wow.
Because She's got everything.
Mm-hmm.
But who wants to live with a mean person?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a drunk.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So he's a substance abuser with money.
Mm-hmm. Yo, that Bible speaks to everything.
Yes, it does.
Jeez.
And all this happens around harvest time. He's shearing the sheep, they're bringing in, everything's happening. Because the harvest time is when he's about to make money on his flock.
Yeah. Yep. And all he had to do was help David in the corral.
That's all.
That's it. A small gesture.
That's all. He had enough to do it too.
Enough to do it too.
And watch this. And the king knew it because the king had been protecting it, therefore providing it, and knew exactly what he had. So he simply said, whatever's in your hand, just send it by the guys. Just giving him a chance to appreciate the protection, the relationship. Nabal fails the test.
Wow.
Give me this offering, David's saying. Help us out. We've been guarding your stuff. Your servants say, they've been a wall between us. Now, that was significant language to me, which means there were some threats there. Because, of course, if he's shearing the sheep, this is the prime time for thieves to come in.
Yeah.
And the thieves didn't come take the flock. Thieves came in and took the wool.
Okay.
It's a quicker getaway with the wool.
Yeah. Wow. So Nabal saw it as an obligation. Abigail saw it as an opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which dictated both their reactions to the
Nabal
request.
said, no, I ain't giving him nothing. I don't know him. His daddy ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. Get away from me.
Wow. Wow.
But David had, but in the meantime, the words caused David to distance himself from God. Because his first reaction was, not we gonna pray. Y'all get your swords on.
Yeah, he was. Bro, man was ready to go.
We got some work. We got some work to do. We're gonna do some work.
David was a G, man.
He said, if anything left but meat when I get done,
Yeah.
this boy's lucky.
Wow. I'll tell you this, you got to be careful who you treat. You never know who you're talking to.
You don't know who's been, well, we know as Christians who's been providing for us.
Yes.
And we need to be concerned about offending him.
Right. Right. Wow. Nothing. Okay. So y'all be careful how you treat people. God, each other. Because David would have been a great blessing to the Nabal's house. He was already. He could have been more.
Had he done that,
Yes.
Nabal would have shifted to the next dimension. Because he was a little Job-like in his possessions, but he wasn't Job-like in his relationship with the king.
Not at all.
That was that.
Not at all. And David shows us this when he became king. Could have been like, I need somebody to bless. Remember Nabal
Yes, sir.
and Abigail from.
Yes, sir. I got an empty seat at the table. Go get Nabal.
Do you think we don't help people because there's no immediate reward sometimes from that help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we don't help homeless folk when we're riding down the street. You know, some people don't see any need to help those that are less fortunate. They find a reason. Nabal's thing was, who's he?
Yeah.
Our thing is, I'm talking about human beings' thing is, they can go to work like I can,
Yeah.
which is a reason to reject the opportunity
Yes.
if I see it as one. Why in the world does God have so many people in need walk up to so many Christians? Especially when he says you don't know who you're entertaining.
Yep. Obviously, it's an opportunity.
You don't know who is in your presence. You don't know whether I sent them or whether, but get this. If they're not an angel, there's still an opportunity.
Yep.
I've never had a person in need approach me when I didn't have anything. I have had a person approach me when I had not as much as I normally would like to have and still had to come out of my pocket.
Yep.
You know, I don't know how it is impossible for me, like to stand in line at the grocery store and see a senior citizen looking at every item like, oh Lord, do I have enough? And stand there for a few minutes and trying to get the cashier's attention and tell her, I got this. And then the joy on the senior's face
Yeah.
tells me, I don't believe it was coincidence that I happen to be in a crowded market standing behind this woman at this moment.
Right.
And it was not like I had a whole lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm looking, and she's almost in a sweat, waiting to see the total.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of my own grandmother, who didn't have to worry about a thing.
Yep.
This is somebody's grandmother that should not be standing in the line
Absolutely.
in all this anxiety.
Absolutely.
And here I am, big bad preacher. What am I going to do? Watch her go ahead and struggle and walk on out sad because she had to buy food for herself?
Right.
No, ma'am.
No, that's not compassion.
No.
I'm going to pray for you. It's not compassion. When you got it in your hands to do it.
No.
That's scripture too.
That's right.
James said, don't just pray for them, help them.
If you got the ability, do it.
Yeah. Wow. So,
We done?
faith. Well, we can start closing up
Okay.
these last announcements. So, again, don't forget to join us tonight for communion at 6. Finish watching the rest of the services.
Now, that's not for Connections. Connections ain't no communion tonight. It's Friday.
Oh, no, yeah. People watching Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday
Communion
right
Sunday
now.
at 6.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was on Sunday. So, Sunday crowd,
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, Sunday crowd.
Yeah. You watching this live Friday, 6 o'clock.
On Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
So, join us Sunday. We got driving service tomorrow.
Absolutely, 12 noon.
12 noon. Don't forget the interviews coming out tomorrow, Saturday the 4th of July at 11:30.
Now, that's going to be on the same time we're doing the noonday service.
No, it's going to be over before noonday service starts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only, how long are they, like 10
About
minutes?
28 minutes.
20
Okay,
minutes, yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah, and they're up, they're going to be up into
They're,
perpetuity.
they're just a little too excited about these interviews. I don't remember them. So they're just a little too excited.
They're fun. I didn't see the edited version. She
It's good.
has them, so.
She's grinning just a little too much.
Yeah. If you didn't get a chance to see our Touch Your Neighbor social media thing,
What did you all do now?
we did a social distancing Touch Your Neighbor, and we did 3 types of Touch Your Neighbor people. So,
I haven't seen that yet.
It's going to be on your page at 2:30 today.
okay,
Y'all cutting up again?
yes.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a social distancing, another one we're going to take Tuesday. So it should be fun.
I still got to do my teddy bear service.
Yeah. And I got one I want to see. I got one for you to do.
Teddy bear service, what's that? When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I got one for you too. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Call it the desperate preacher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just watch all the stuff that we got coming out, of course. And of course, we're again celebrating Bishop's anniversary this month. Sow into his life. The given information, of course, will be on the screen with the codes because they're different on each platform, Givelify, Text to Give, and our website. So please make sure you sow into his life. Watch the services on Sundays at 6. And anything you want to share with anybody?
Now, I just want to thank all of our people that follow us on all of our platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What else are we on?
Periscope,
Periscope,
TikTok.
Rejoice,
Pinterest?
Pinterest.
You on
yes.
Pinterest?
Yes.
I'm on Pinterest, and what's the last
TikTok.
one? TikTok. Now, I haven't even seen TikTok
You
yet,
don't-
so I got to see what that is.
It's for the little kids.
That's for kids?
The teenagers.
Isn't that where they make videos and stuff?
Yeah, it's like,
It's
yeah,
like another Instagram coming up?
something like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
but I want to thank those of you who have been, please inspire your friends to follow us, not only on Facebook, but on YouTube.
Yeah.
Invite those. If I could get the 201,000 people, friends on Facebook, to also follow us on YouTube, that would be tremendous, you all. We're experiencing unusual growth
Yeah.
on Facebook. Every time I check notifications, it's another 1,000 people that have followed us. So I think God is blessing us during this season.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to everybody else.
Yeah, he's doing it. And we talked about it. People asking when we open up with this thing. Calm down. We open up. Look, like you
When
said,
it's safe for grandma to come to church, then it's safe for everybody else to come.
there you go.
That's what makes sense to me.
Yep.
This thing, I've been watching, I don't watch the news as long as I used to because I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But this problem in places where my president has been meeting. And then I saw a governor this morning, I think either from Idaho or South Dakota, a lady, inviting them to a rally that I believe either the president or the vice president was coming to. And she said point blank, we will not be practicing any social distancing. We will not be wearing masks. Said, you can wear one if you want. We're not requiring it. But we're not going to be doing any social distancing. Come out ready to celebrate. I'm wondering what it is that is so valuable to her that she will ignore what's happening in every other state where this is going on, and tell her people to come and ignore what's happening everywhere else.
Yep. They made wearing a mask political when it's just common courtesy.
But
it's not politics.
But what do you say to the people you just instructed to come out and do this thing?
The people she's talking to an intended crowd that thinks just like her.
But they get sick like everybody else.
Herman Cain just got sick at the Tulsa
I
thing.
know.
Couple of Secret Service people got sick for Pence.
They said that Arizona had the highest single day of coronavirus victims in the history of the disease in the United States. This is crazy.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Not at all.
So now, the things they should not have opened in the first place, a lot of the states are shutting down again because it was almost like they expected human beings to be on the honor system.
Right.
No, you can't trust us.
Can't. If they would shut everything down, people did right for the first couple months, we'd be
out of this now.
Almost. Europe's coming out of this thing.
Well, I don't blame Europe for saying you all can't come here for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But I don't get it. And I watched the rally in Arizona, and I'm looking at these people, the seniors, youngers, and I'm like, what are they thinking? Everybody's screaming.
That's because the pastors of the church, and this is public, so it ain't nothing.
Okay.
The pastors at the church made a video and said they found some sort of technology or something that kills the virus 99.9% of the time. So when you come in the building, you're going to be safe. Now, these are the pastors of the church that they had to rally at.
Talking about it, kill it within 10 minutes. Well, so what's happening during the 10 minutes? Everybody's catching it? And it was all a lie.
Of course it was.
Why would they go that far? Where's the credibility? Why would they go that far?
It was the opportunity.
They wanted the president in the church so badly? I don't think you can have more regard for bucks than you do for bodies.
Yep.
I don't think you can do it.
You can't. Yeah.
We're looking out for our people. Everybody nobody wants to come back to church more than we do. But the reality is, you can tell anybody ask you when you all going back. Bishop said when it's safe for grandma, then we're coming back.
Yep.
Just tell your senior citizens to stay home. That means it's dangerous.
Right. Yeah. All the young people can get it because they'll survive it. Not all of them are surviving it.
Last time I checked, coronavirus was not checking birth certificates. Was not saying everybody under 18 is already. It's not.
Yep.
Matter of fact, the young crowd is the one that's spreading it right now.
Yeah, they're giving it to everybody else that's older. Get us started.
Okay.
Watch us on Point tomorrow at 9 because we're going to talk about
Yeah, we'll hear some more about it tomorrow.
Because
9 a.m.
Yeah.
at David Jevons 1.
Yeah. Especially these kids throwing coronavirus parties to see who
I
gets
heard about
infected.
that nonsense.
First person gets infected.
Gets a money prize.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
so silly.
Y'all pray for this country, these people. All right, y'all, we're over, so
See you later.